Hello, lovers. Today I want to talk to you about HSPs. What's an HSP? You might ask. One might wonder. I will tell you. An HSP stands for highly sensitive person. So some years ago, Dr. Elaine Aron wrote a book called The Highly Sensitive Person. And if you're even remotely curious, or if you've ever been called sensitive in your life, I invite you to go to her website. It's hsperson.com and take the quiz. But I'm going to talk a little bit about it here. So a highly sensitive person, a good way to find out what that is the quiz, yes. But ask yourself, are you easily overwhelmed by things like bright lights, strong smells, coarse fabrics, if you hear sirens nearby? Do you get kind of rattled when you have a lot to do in a very little amount of time? Do you make a point of avoiding violent TVs or movies or even the news because it stresses you out and just makes you feel like you can't handle it? Do you need to withdraw during like busy days to like bed or to a darkened room or to a quiet space? Or do you make it a priority to sort of arrange your life in a way that sort of protects you? Like if you get peopled out, right? Where you just need to go and be alone and kind of take things in. If any of those feel like a big yes for you, and there's so many more, like again, go take the quiz, you might be a highly sensitive person. And I wanted to talk about this today because it affects adults and children. And according to the website, there's some things that you should know about it. For one, it's a trait that is normal. It's found in 15 to 20% of our overall population. And to many, they think of it like a disorder, but honestly, I think of it as a superpower once I learned to sort of accept it about myself and learned to manage it. And I'll get to that in a minute. The other thing is that it's innate. In fact, biologists have found it in more than 100 different species, and probably there's more, everything from fruit flies to dogs and cats and horses and us, humans. And the thing is we just work a little bit differently than others. I like to jokingly say we're the canaries in the coal mine, in that if there is a subtle change in energy, in temperature, in light, in anything, we pick it up more subtly than most people do, and we feel it more deeply. We also get more easily overwhelmed. Now, that's not just, when I say overwhelmed, I don't just mean in ways of like chaos and negativity, because that's somewhat normal for a lot of people, but especially for us. But I also get overwhelmed when I see art that's really beautiful, or when I hear music that's really intense. Like I will just weep and weep and weep. And so it's something that's been really misunderstood over the years, and I highly recommend you getting yourself educated on it. Or if you think you have a child, there's even a quiz online for like the child, a highly sensitive child, that I highly recommend you looking into. Here's the reality of it. As a fellow HSP, what's up, HSP in the house? I will say that in the early part of my life, being highly sensitive felt very scary, because the truth is it was really hard to manage whether something was my feelings or somebody else's feelings. It's a very empathic kind of subtlety. And it's a true neurological difference. Like we're truly wired neurologically different. Like there's not something you can't toughen up or not be so sensitive. Like it's not possible. There's not a way to do this. But because we are so sensitive, it can feel really overwhelming to us if you don't learn to manage it in healthy ways. And you're more prone to self-medicate. What do I mean by that? When everything in the world feels really loud and bright and chaotic to you, you want to either hide, shut down, or numb. And numbing looks like drugs, looks like alcohol, looks like food, sugar. It's an upper, right? Numbing out, things that getting zoned out in a TV show, in a video game, and things like that. But there are healthy ways to sort of calm the noise that is everywhere. One of my favorite ones is to move your body. Like, so go for a walk, get in nature, go for a hike. Those things that just sort of help calm the loud around you. I'm really good at taking quiet time for myself. I think meditation is so valuable for HSPs. I cannot stress that enough. So if you're not familiar with it, download the Calm app on your phone and start to introduce meditation into your life, even meditative music and things like that to just sort of soothe the sensitivities. But the biggest thing that you can do, honestly, is just take ownership of it. I remember being really offended when somebody would tell me I was too sensitive. Like, you're too sensitive. You take that too seriously. You should just let that stuff roll off your back. You know, you're so sensitive. I'm just kidding. You're so sensitive. And I used to just be like, and it felt like a weakness. It felt like such a horrible weakness for me. And it took me years to sort of realize that my sensitivity was my superpower, because it allows me to see people and love them and kind of feel what's going on in the room and kind of know what's happening without anything being said. And it's a really beautiful thing. One of the things that you do have to do, though, is learn to recognize when it's your energy or somebody else's. It's harder to do when you're young. Like, child HSPs really struggle because they have parents sometimes that don't know how to walk them through this. But it's really hard sometimes to walk into a room and gauge, is this me I'm feeling, or is this somebody else? Right? Is this anxiety that I'm feeling mine in my chest? Or is it somebody else's? Because it feels so strong in you as an HSP that it feels like it's your own sometimes. And so a couple of things to keep in mind with that is, if you walk into a room and the energy for you changes just by walking into the room, it's probably not you. It's probably something in the room that's taking place. If you're in a crowd of people, and a crowd doesn't have to mean 100 people. A crowd can be your family of 5, right? It can be a family of 3. But if somebody else is entering your space, or if you're hanging out together for a long period of time and you're feeling things that you can't account for, like, I'm feeling upset, but I don't have anything to be upset about, then it's probably not you. And there are some great techniques, some breathing techniques and some calm techniques and things like that that you can do to help sort of push other people's energy out. A good one is to have headphones on you at all times, because I'm telling you, when I'm feeling other people's energies, I can just put in some music that makes me feel grounded, that makes me feel happy, that makes me feel strong and secure. And I can put that in and sort of like, another thing that I like to do is just sort of like breathing in. I just imagine that I'm breathing in light, and that when I exhale, I'm just pushing that light out of me. So something can't enter me if I'm pushing out. That's a good way to sort of manage other people's energies around you. But also, I'm just very protective. I don't go to big, huge concerts. I don't go to things that I know are going to sort of rob me of my energy, I don't hang out with toxic people that sort of leak on me all the time, that exhaust me. I'm really good about my boundaries and sort of taking care of myself. I try to make sure that I get healthy movement, that I get meditation, things like that. Eating healthy foods, healthy, good, organic foods free of toxins is another good thing for highly sensitive people to do. But I wanted to share all this with you because I don't want you walking around feeling like this is a bad thing if this is you. In fact, in other cultures around the world, people who are HSPs tend to actually be valued. They're seen as, it's seen as a gift. So I would love for us to do that. Don't let the other 80% of the population convince you that you're too sensitive or that there's something wrong with you. One of the best things about my gift is that it has allowed me to be a transformational life coach and to be able to help people with their trauma release and love people, because I can feel what they're feeling. I can empathically relate, and I can help give them the same kind of tools that I've learned for myself so that they don't have to feel too sensitive too. So I hope this helps you. Again, please, please, please go to the website. Just Google the highly sensitive person and you'll find the website there. Go take the test, take the little quiz. It's totally free. Discover this about yourself. See if this is who you are. If it is, come talk to me. Come talk to me. Ask me questions. I would love to answer them for you. In the meantime, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video.